Hello there and welcome to my YouTube channel, Juliet Neilcraft. So today it's time for take 5! Yay! So take 5 art challenge, and as usual I am recording this the day before. So I am once again working in my junk journal that I made with the lovely Dawn when we did a Dawn and Julia Create, because I've noticed that actually quite a few of my take 5s have ended up in this journal, so I'm just going to stick with that. While it's working for me, why not? So the prompts for this month are photograph, foliage, coral, journaling, yellow, and that's it. So I'm planning on doing a fairly simple page. I just want to show you some artwork that my daughter did last week. So she made this. So she watches a program called Art Ninja, and it's pretty good. So it's very creative, but he also teaches them about different styles. So now, like, she made a mosaic out of Hatchimal shells the other day, and she was like, "Mum, who was the first person that did mosaics?" So I had to go into the history of it because she wanted to know what style of art she was making. But anyway, I love the concept of this actually. I really like how that turned out. So for my page, I'm actually just going to be doing a version of that. So I've taken a black and white photograph of myself, just as silly as that one. But in between, I'm going to start off by putting a bit of colour down. So we've got abandoned coral, which is one of the colours, obviously. Let me see what else have I got here. Ripe persimmon, and then I think I want to grab a yellow, which I'll just grab. So I have grabbed my my inks, and I am just going to do a little bit of stencil work to create a bit of colour in the background, and then I'm just going to stick my photograph down and have some sort of bits and pieces coming out the top of my head because I actually really like how that turned out. I was really impressed with her. I was really delighted with it. So yeah, great one, especially if those of you that are stuck at home right now. Well, most of us are stuck at home right now, aren't we? And keeping the kids entertained. Great program, Art Ninja it's called, and yeah, my daughter loves watching it. Now there's obviously been a bit of blue left over on my brush, so we're getting a slight green. I'm going to try and just give it a little wipe. This is probably why you should clean your brushes properly, but you know, it just adds to interesting effects that you didn't know that you were going to get. I will still make sure that I have the the yellow and the coral on there, so we're all right. So yeah, going to add, so that was like my lightest yellow, and then let's get a different, so I'm just going to layer some of these, and then I'm going to cut out my photograph, and then we'll see how we go. So this is mustard seed, so this is just the normal distress inks. So the first lot was some of the oxides, and then this one is just the normal ones. So we're getting the yellow, and this one's a bit more of a truer yellow. It's still a slight contamination, but that's alright, can live with that. Okay, I love stencils. I love the way that you can just so quickly build up a really interesting background and create a layered effect. So now I'm going to go in and do my corals. So I'll go for ripe persimmon first. So obviously I have to have circles on there somewhere. It wouldn't be me if there wasn't. So let's put some circles. There we go. Going across. So if you're hearing a bit of noise now, that's my daughter getting ready for bedtime. So it'll be mostly me doing the looking after her tomorrow, because we're actually out of isolation tomorrow. So I know we're still in lockdown, but it means we can actually go to the shop, which is just as well, because we're running out of some basics. So yeah, be glad to have a bit of shopping done. That's going to be most useful. I can also go out for a little walk, which will be quite good. So I'm going to just put some smaller dots in with the coral colour there, just to build up the page. So very quickly, a few stencils. We've got quite a bit of interest going on there. Okay, so sorry, you can hear the noise. So hopefully it'll be all right. Right, so here is my daft photograph that I took. So I am just going to fussy cut that out, and then I'll be back. Okay, so I have cut my photograph out. I have pulled all the, because I'm working through my bit box right now, trying to use up my scraps. I've pulled all the foliage elements that were in my bit box out. I have grabbed from this paper pad here, journaling designer pad, I have grabbed one of the checklists there for the journaling element that was one of the prompts. So I don't particularly want that as a to-do list, so I'm just actually going to tear down that and this side as well and the last side, and I'm just going to adhere that to the side of my page over here. So again, I'm not overly thinking, because I just want this quite a nice quick page. And actually those papers there have a gold element to them, and because there was already sort of washi tape with a gold touch there, it works quite well. So just stick that down there. I've got this big floral element, which I think I will just stick down that side as well, and then I'll stick my image down, and then we'll start building up the various bits and pieces. I also found from the journaling pad there, I also found this sentiment, when you love what you have, and I just thought that's quite applicable for where we all are at the minute. We don't have what we normally have, we don't have the same freedom that we normally have, we're all kind of in lockdown. There's not the same supplies when we go shopping, we don't seem to have as much as we're used to having. So we can focus on the fact that, you know, we don't have all the things that we used to have, or we can focus on loving what we still have. You know, I have time at home with my husband and my daughter at the moment so far, although I have had a close friend with COVID-19, and I have a suspicion that we've had it as well, although we've not been tested, so I can't confirm it. But the fact that my friend, a relative of hers, had it and had to go to hospital and got the test and tested positive, so speaking to her, I have a feeling that we did actually have it. But anyway, that's not going to dwell on that. But what I'm saying is, like, we've got time together. There's a lot to be grateful for. So I'm going to try and focus on loving what I do have, rather than stressing about all the things that we don't have. So right now I'm just, as I said, I'm not overly thinking these things. I'm just kind of getting a few bits down just to create a little bit more interest on the page, and then I'm just going to build up, build it up like so. Let's put this on this side as well, and then we've got a little bit of, although that's looking too samey, is it? Is it looking, maybe we'll put it that side. Yeah, so we've got it, but I don't like things looking too the same. I'm strange like that. Okay, I'll put that there, and then we'll work out what we're doing. So, foliage. I'm going to cut round this, and let's just break these pieces up a little bit. So these little floral elements, they were in my bit box, but they've also actually come from the same paper pad that I've taken that journaling element out from, so that works. So I'm just going to pop these pieces in here. Why not? Now, oh, actually it looks like I have no idea. Genuinely have no idea. I'm just plonking it down. Oh dear, who knows? I just suddenly thought, oh, it looks like I'm holding a big branch there. So, right. What have we got? Try and get some more of these foliage elements. I think I am going to have to start possibly thinking of arranging it somewhat, because although it is random, I kind of want the random to make sense. Is that possible? Is it possible to allow the random to make sense? I think we might have to get some more foliage and flower bits out. I'm just going to cut these. I think as well, because there's the white border around that, it's not something I'm overly fussed on, so I may just have to go and get some distress inks or some other elements. And these flowers have got the coral colours in them too, so it works that way, because we're getting the colour in as well. Okay, so I may get other sticker elements and bits and pieces so that we can build this up a little bit. I've also just remembered, I think I've got some colourful foliage ribbon, so I might grab that. I'm just going to, by some sort of fortuitous chance, actually have the green one just there. So I'm just going to build these up. Kind of wanting to check back at my daughter's for reference, so that was hers. So she's got some of it going over her face, so I might have to try that a little bit, and just see what happens. I think possibly a big butterfly over my head as well. I'm going to stick that down as well as a feature over there, and I will add a little bit of my own journaling to the paper. There. Okay, yes, so I think I'm just going to have a little rummage, because I had pulled out a few foliage elements which I'm liking, but it's not fully, the picture's not quite right for me yet, so I think I need to grab a few more and see how we get on when I've got a little bit more to play with. Okay, I've actually pulled some of the bits that I put down off because I think it wasn't crazy enough. I think that was the problem. It's a bit of a daft concept, this, and I think it was just it was trying to be sort of crazy but with pretty images, and it wasn't working for me, so I think I needed things that were a bit more bright and vibrant. So I have fussy cut some flowers out of, this was from a paper pack that was in my stash, and I've actually pulled out a whole load of bits and pieces. I kind of want that near the end. Yeah, I've kind of pulled out a whole load of bits and pieces from last year. I used this kit a lot, so it was from the works. I think it did the rounds, a lot of people got it. It was something like £3. Dawn and I have used it a lot for a lot of the Dawn and Julia creates, and I think it was just a bit more bright and funky, and I think that's what this project is needing. So I'm liking that much more now, so I'm just going to stick some of these elements down, and I think that works a lot better. So I'm going to get some of these ones so that the background behind my head is sorted, and then I will overlap some stuff as well, just to make it work, and we will see how we go. But obviously I want plenty of foliage in, because that is one of the prompts, so I do want to make sure I've got that covered. I'm not sure if I want a second piece of that on. The trouble is, because it goes the same direction as that, it's kind of bothering me a little bit because I want it to look different. Let me see. Yeah, I'll just put that right over, and I've got, where's my, there we go. See, I think like my daughter's got really random things all together, and I think that's what kind of makes it work. So I think It's a bit crazy, but I like crazy. It's working for me. It's definitely, I definitely like the whole crazy vibe to it. That suits me down to the ground. It's very different from my style, but I think when it says when you love what you have, like my daughter made that within the last week, and you know, I've loved having extra time with her. Part of me likes the homeschooling, and part of me doesn't when she doesn't want to do it. But you know, we have a family, and we get, you know, if we get married or whatever it is, it's because we want to spend time with these people, and then life sort of takes over half the time, and we can end up becoming passing strangers in the night to the people that we love and that we're closest to. So and I tell you, it's like I hug the living daylights out of my little girl right now, because I can't hug my mum and my dad and other people that I love and care about. It's simple things. Love what you have. So I love the fact that I have my little girl with me, and that we can do fun things together. I love the fact that, you know, we're arting together. She likes that, thankfully. So many of you commented on my video about of my craft room tour, saying that you love the fact that my daughter has her own craft space. And yeah, I think that's good, and it's fun because it's like we do have our little, she has her little station within my room, but it's funny because she does really like me when I'm crafting. She likes, when we're crafting together, she likes me sat beside her. It's partly why my husband moved me over to this side of the loft, because I was in the other loft, other side, and had a much smaller space. Basically the end of what I have now is what we had all together, and I could never craft because she would literally end up sat on my knee, because she wanted to be beside me. So it means then that we got the ability to sort of craft together, and have the space to do it. Yeah, I'm liking this. I think it suits the style that I was going for, because it's much more random. And then I've got these sort of like journaly elements, because obviously journaling was one of the prompts, so I kind of want it to look like a bit of a journaly page as well. So it's funny because that particular image doesn't photograph doesn't necessarily suit the when you love what you have sentiment, but to me it is, because it's like I have used my daughter's artwork as inspiration. So to me that kind of crazy picture of me screaming does still match the sentiment of when you love what you have. So I think that'll be what my journaling will have to be, that, you know, I'm loving having the time with my little girl. Now I've also got this foliage ribbon, which I thought I would try and put a few of these bits and pieces in, just to make it a wee bit different. So I'll add a few of those elements in. I kind of want to get to a pink bit, but I don't really want to chop it. Oh, why not? Oh, actually these are quite good, because we've got the yellow and corally colours, which sort of suit. But I'm going to chop them down, because I actually like them just as the little leaves. So I'm going to chop them down so that I can tuck them behind things. But I am liking the collage effect of this much more now. I think it's working for me. I think when I show her that I have done some artwork based on her artwork, she is going to be so excited. She loves to think that she's inspired me. Quite often she'll come up with ideas for my ranges, or she'll see me working on something. Like I was working on some drawings that hopefully will be a range that will get to the telly box at some point. And all of a sudden she was going, "Oh mummy, look, I've made you some more ideas here, you could do this," and she does little drawings. And in fact I got her a sketchbook as well, so that she could put her ideas in it for me. But yeah, she loves to think that her ideas have inspired me, and to be honest, a lot of her ideas do inspire me. My latest range that's just come out, Nancy Noodle, that she came about because Kezia had said to me, "Mummy, can you draw me a noodle girl?" I wouldn't in a billion years of thought of doing something like that. But that's what she wanted, so you know, I did that. And so yeah, she does inspire my work, so she will be delighted when she realises that that is what I've done. I think I need the butterfly over my head, covered in the pineapple, but I'm sure Dawn's seen it by now and shouted, so you know, I was quite good. I did it without going, look Dawn. Sometimes I like point it out really obviously, and other times I'm just like, just left it. It's like, she'll notice. She always does. She always does. Right. So I think I've used most of my bits and bobs, and I'm quite liking that. I've got a few stickers, so there's a few little elements that will just bother me, like that bit there, seeing the stalk. That is going to bother me, so I'm just going to add sticker over those bits, and it's yellow flowers, so that's even better. Okay, and the same here. I've got a little stalk here that is going to bother me, so I will maybe put the butterfly over that, and it kind of matches that butterfly there. What else have we got? It's a good way of me actually using up my stuff here, so I'm just going to keep going, I think. Just going to keep going. Now the other thing is, I have a pink flower here and a pink flower there. Rule of threes. To me, my eye is looking here and here because there's a pop of pink, and it's quite a bright colour, so you see it. So now I'm kind of wanting to almost create that sort of Z formation a little bit and move the eye so that the colour, so as well as sort of like rule of threes of where you put it, I think like your colour coordination, being able to sort of move that around as well, is another tip to make something look a bit more fluid and deliberate. And I'm going to take that tiny bit of leftover sticker and I am going to put it over here. So what I'm going to do now is, just off camera, I'm just going to add my journaling to this page, pretty much saying what I've said to you, that, you know, about appreciating what I have, and the fact that this page has been inspired by my daughter's artwork. And then I'll probably just pop a wee doodly border on it, and I'll be back and show you where we are. Okay, so I've done my journaling, I've done my doodly border. I'm just going to add a few little extra doodles in various places, just to sort of tie things together. So I'm just doing some random circles, and I find if I scribble, because obviously it's very difficult to draw a perfect circle. I can't draw a perfect circle. Sometimes my digiimages have got perfect circles, but that's the wonder of Procreate. It's not that I can naturally draw a circle by myself. So I think if you make it rough, it's not meant to be perfect. So I'm just doing that to sort of fill some of the white space. And again, that's a trick that sometimes if you've got lots of white space, your eye can sort of look at that, whereas if you fill it, actually I'm quite happy with that, if you fill it, then that's it works too. So I've just added that. I suppose that's as opposed to my black splashes. But anyway, those are the prompts all done. So we've got the yellow, we've got the coral, we've got the journaling, we've got the foliage, and we've got the photograph. So that's all 5. Please do check out what all the other ladies have done. Their links will be in the description box below. I do always love Take 5 Day, sit down and be inspired by some wonderful crafters. So if you have enjoyed it here, please do also consider liking and subscribing, and I'll be back again very soon. Okay, take care then, and goodbye.